And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Messages of Inspiration and Hope is proudly brought to you today by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. Our guest today is Angel Marie Monachelli. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me humbly say I've known this lady for several years. You are in for a treat. My goodness gracious. She is an event energizer. If you got a virtual event or a physical event and you need someone there to really get people energized and get them, fired up, and most importantly, get them encouraged and inspired to come, she is your lady. And I saw her in action at Colorado Springs when I was the MC. In fact, if you go to her website there, let me pull that up here right quick. I got to tell a story out of school here real quickly. At angelmarieshines.com, if you go to that website, you'll see the video playing of her being on stage at that event. I was the MC now, okay? And she got everybody up. She got the energy flowing. Everybody was happy, happy, happy. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to follow her as being the MC on stage. And I tell you right now, she's tough to follow. Trust me on that. But I tell you, she's a wonderful lady. We're just so excited to have her here with us today. And, it's just when you hear some of the things she brings to the party, her energy, the vibration, she's going to be playing a little song in the background. And at the very end, she's going to do the shine on movement and everything. Like I said, you're in for a treat. But we'll be right back right after this brief message.
Hi, and welcome to the Messages of Inspiration and Hope show that's proudly sponsored by the 6-Minute Webinar. Today we have some exciting and very interesting guests, real people just like you and me. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the show. Now here's Jim.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you right now, when it comes to the 6-minute webinar, it is a win-win situation because it enables you to speak directly to your ideal client. And Angel Marie was she was just so kind. That's what I love about her. She gives freely. And that's what we do here at E360 TV and everyone associated with us, the show and everything. We're all about helping one another without charging anyone one thin dime. And I just want to show you real quickly, give you a sample of what you're in store for. Take a look at this young lady talking about the 6-minute webinar.
Hi, I'm Angel Marie Monachelli with Angel Marie Shines. And I had the pleasure, the honor to go through training for the 6-minute webinar. Oh my gosh. This webinar and how it's structured and how they teach it. Thank you, Speakers Pathway Coalition. Thank you, Don McGrath and the whole team for the 6-minute webinar, because you made it so simple, easy. And the way you lined it out with the outline, I can reproduce it. And I'm already getting the engagement. I'm getting people that are coming back that are saying, oh, I love this webinar that's so short, so to the point, and I love your products and what I'm selling, but then what I'm also the services that I provide, and I do any of this because I have the framework. So thank you so much to the whole team, because the 6-minute webinar totally rocks. Thank you.
Now you can see why we were so honored when she just made that video for us without us asking. That's just the type of giving person she is. She loves to give. She comes straight from the heart. And it's time now for me to welcome Angel Marie to the show. Hey, young lady.
Hey, Jim, thank you so much. I just love it. Thank you for that intro. Oh. And yes, I love the 6-minute webinar. It's so easy. So precise. So thank you so much for having me here today, Jim, and everybody out there. Welcome. Yes.
It's my pleasure, because it's great guests like you that entertains the audience, and you make me look good. That's a win-win situation.
I've heard that before from event planners and coordinators. Angie, you made it feel so good. And I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Absolutely. You know, one thing that really gets me about you, your energy is just carrying you so far now, because you're even talking to people who have live streaming networks, and they're looking to you, and you're helping them clear out some cobwebs. Wow, I didn't realize that. And you're able to help them put on events and be able to make the event successful. That's what an event coordinator wants. And when they put on, because event coordinator, they need people there in the background to make them look good to their audience. That's the way the world turns. And Angel Marie, my goodness gracious, I've known you for several years. You're just a wonderful person to be around. You can't help but smile when I'm around you. You build everybody up. And I was telling the truth when I was the MC there in Colorado Springs, Colorado. You got up on stage, you started doing the Shine On movement, and you had everybody energized and all that. And I'm thinking, oh man, I got to follow her.
But you know, Jim, you did really well. And you know, the Shine On song is for the movement. And so you did great. And if you go to my website, you're on the website at the beginning, you're dancing. You're on there. Yes, you're on there. It shows it. And you know, what happens is it helps engagement, because, you know, so many people are zoomed out. They really are zoomed out.
Yeah. To get people up out of their chairs and get them moving, get the oxygen flowing, the blood flowing and all that, that gets the brain, you know, back in sync with what you want. And goodness gracious, it's a win-win situation. And we're going to fly by the seat of our pants here. Just turn on a little bit of that Shine On music there. Just give the people a little snapshot of it, if you would.
Let's just do like one verse of it. How do we do that? You know, we'll just do one verse of it.
However you want to do it. I mean, I don't know how many verses there are to it.
We'll just do one. So, you know, the words are the philosophy of the movement, basically. So here we go. You got ambition, fire and soul. Look within your heart, let your spirit flow. Ask for what you want, show what you got. Take it to the top, don't you ever stop. Shine. Do you remember, Jim? Shine, shine on.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're like, raise your vibration, shine. Shine, shine on. It gets you going. Give me answers. See who you will find. Open up your heart. Leave it all behind. Smile and laugh. Always give back. Glowing like a star. Show them who you are. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise it, everybody. There we go. Yeah. Just do a couple.
I still crack up at that, because I was standing beside Bill Heinrich, and Bill was, you know, doing the movements. Of course, this is the first time we'd ever seen it. And I looked over at Bill, and when he was doing the hopping around and all, it looked like he was doing a cross between the Watusi and the Boogaloo. And I got the giggles. And when that happens to you folks, you're down for the count. And there was another guy there. I can't remember his name now. I can see his face. And his left was not coordinated with his right. But it was so much.
The beautiful thing is nobody cared. And you know, that's what this song does. And the energy by the time it's done speaking is nobody cares what they look like. They get up because they're energized. And some people come and go, I don't do that. I don't know what you did. Did you do like hypnotherapy donuts or something? Did you? And I'm like, no, it's vibration. It really is. So it's beautiful.
And I remember one young man there, I'm not going to mention his name, but he was there and he had some issues. He's a former soldier and all that. And you had him up doing the Shine On movement. And he was so enthused about the event. He had Bill Heinrich drop him off and pick him up next morning because he was homeless. And then we were able to introduce him to Dr. Charles Weber. We got him some help. He's no longer homeless. He's no longer, in any type of drug addiction. He's got a home now and a job. And if that's all we accomplished there, we were paid tenfold, millionfold, and I still treasure that in my heart. I really do, because none of us saw that coming. We really didn't. And that just goes to show you when there's love there and there's energy flowing and you got Angel Marie there energizing the crowd. I mean, game over. My goodness gracious.
People are just going to shift. They just shift and go, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a wave. It just catches on to everybody. And you know, you look at all the smiles on people's faces to get people up in the afternoon after, you know, all that event there, you know, in a room, big room, and get them up and get them dancing and smiling. You have done something. I mean, the average person can't do that. Trust me on that.
And what's interesting too, Jim, is now doing this virtually.
Yes.
To watch them, because, you know, when people hire me, I meet with the speakers early and I'm like, okay, guys, you know, and some of these guys, and I'm like, you really need to kind of engage a little bit more. Come on, guys, let's do this. And it's really interesting, guys and women. Some of them are introvert, you know, introverts, they don't want to, but you know, when we go to that event, they know what's coming. They understand it because we've gone over it and there's training involved. And, you know, they're out there doing this. And the one guy, the other guy, I mean, he was, and I thought I had offended him. And, you know, it was just like, but you know what? When he got on, he was doing this and he was going he was doing the mind blow. He was doing the heart thing the whole time. It was like, I mean, it was like, wow. And then I even got an email that said, thank you. You helped me to see how I show up on virtual. And I was like,
I tell you, I saw when you first got up there, I didn't know what was going to be going on. I'd never seen the shine on movement, nothing. I mean, I was kind of looking at the people there and some of them kind of like wondering, okay, what are we going to do now? You know, that's typical. That's normal. But then it didn't take long for the shine on movement to, you know, just click on their brain. They got up. Everybody was up on their feet. There wasn't anybody sitting in their chair, leaned back with their arms crossed because they said, hey, I need some of this.
And I think too is, you know, they know my story. Knowing the story, and I'm still being here with a completely crushed foot and seeing me, they go, wait a minute, she could do it. I can do it. Yeah. I think sometimes that is the interesting part, that we need that little push of, why am I really sitting back? You know?
That's so important because a lot of people, you know, the story is how they connect with you. And they say, wow, you know, look what Angel has done. And I want to be part of that. I want to come out of that, you know, that ditch or that dark area that I'm in. Would you be so kind as to share with the audience a little bit about who you are and how the Shine On movement came about? If you'd be so kind to do that, I'd be blessed.
Oh, I'm the blessed one, Jim. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. And, you know, I not only almost died once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. And the 4th time was just last summer, actually, when I almost drowned because I decided to jump off a cliff of about 80 feet and I hit wrong. And when I hit, I had nothing and I was going down. So thank you, Teresia, who is in the water, half my age. And she pretty much came and got me and my healing started again. And every time, and yes, I am a daredevil. Everybody's like, don't jump up from any more cliffs. You're almost 60, Angel. I'm like, I'll do whatever. So I'm a daredevil, definitely. So with that being said, every time that I almost died, what I did is I went back to understanding the power of energy, the power of nutrition, not only the food, but also the energy and how you put energy in, and then the power of mindset. And really when I combined all 3 of them, and here I am today with so much more energy and vitality and still diagnosed with lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, and Sjogren's all through my family. So when I really put everything together and you look at the nutrition part of how you're eating, not just what you're eating, how are you eating? And what energy is around you, that nutrition also. And then what are you thinking, getting out of here? And this is what I teach too. And, you know, and that's what I'm always putting into the events, but then also about healing energy also and how you can heal yourself. I mean, yeah, my foot hurts doing that, but your brain can only do one thing at a time. So the more that I smile, the more that my energy is up, the more that I laugh at myself because I'm constantly doing that. I don't feel. So that's a little bit about me and how over 25 years ago, when I started on this journey, because being diagnosed with all that, they said, here's all the drugs. And I started on them, and then I watched and saw my family, because my whole family has diagnosed the same. And I said, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. There's got to be another way. And that's when I studied all that and went, oh, there is another way. I'm on no prescription drugs. And I still am energized all the time, but yet I have a very good boundary system, and I take care of myself. And the self-care, self-development is so important, because if you don't have a self-care practice, you're gonna tumble down. So it's really having those boundaries. So, and then I have Shine, and I'll show you a picture. She's right there. Shine is my mom.
Yeah.
And her birthday's this month. She's going to be 7. And so me and Shine go out at walks. She wishes they were longer, but I don't walk that much anymore. But yet when I got her 7 years ago this month, she was hurt. Her back legs are hurt. So she can't run. So it's perfect, kind of. So I enjoy movies. I like, they have ladies' nights here where we'll have, that's the ladies come over, and an open to having people come over for dinners, and we have lots of those. So I say we for me and Shine, and and I'm very involved, obviously, with some nonprofits like 1 in 9, and with the Annalyn, and we're gonna. I'm involved there. I'm involved with Tamara Hunter with the Chemo Buddy for Life since the beginning. I've been there. I mean, I just get chills, because it's, those nonprofits make a difference. So that's what I like to do. And I do a lot of Facebook Lives, because I like to give what my gifts are, which is insight and intuition. So that's about me. Thank you.
I tell you, it's really amazing, because, I've known you for several years, and I've just seen you blossom and blossom. And every time I think you're full bloom, you go, that much bigger again. And it's just really fantastic, because I've seen your shine on energy, who you are. That's what you demonstrate 24/7, like event coordinators, because especially if event coordinators putting on a virtual event, they're going to need some energy, just like you experienced early on in the show. You could feel that energy coming to you. And I tell you, Angel Marie Monachelli, she is numero uno on the list. I'll tell you that right now. And I mean that in the bottom of my heart. And it just amazes me how I've seen you just, go and grow like that, and just blossom. And you just look for, there are no boundaries for you. That's what I really, think. When I think about you, I think of a person that's just, the universe is, there are no boundaries. You're just in tune with the universe, aren't you?
I really am. And, that just goes to show, just leaving last summer, jumping off that cliff, I mean, I'm just, there's no boundaries, and, there should be, it's I'm not telling everybody to go jump off a 70, 80-foot cliff.
You don't have to worry. I won't do that. They'll have to throw me off.
I will not be doing that probably ever again in my life, but it was, I've always done it. So I just love that. But yeah, there's no capper. And when we have limitations, that's a field of vibration that comes from a lack. And it can be a lack of a lack mentality. And sometimes that's a lack of money. It's a lack of emotions, a lack of, I'm not good enough. Yeah. It's mostly what we see in most people. And right now it's what's going to happen. I'm scared. And they're stuck in their energy and they can't move forward.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm finding, because I do empowerment energy coaching. And that's really what I call it, because I'm empowering you, teaching you your energy. Where are you losing your energy?
Yeah.
And where are you letting the energy just go? Because people will take your energy. They don't mean to, though, because their energy might be low. They're going to take yours. They're going to, because you're in the same vibrational field. Right. But it's powerful when you understand and how to run your energy, and where does my energy stop and start, and where does yours stop and start? And I could actually feel. And most people can, but it takes them to do what? To relax, to actually stop. And we don't do that, right? I mean, you know, Jim, you and me, we get up early. I've been up since 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some times that we've talked at 5 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Yeah. I mean, but I have good boundaries. I've already laid down and taken my deep breaths. I've done my visualization, you know, and done these, like I did a 7-minute earlier, a 10-minute, and I just finished a 16-minute. Just put a timer on it, you know, and just start doing the breaths and just relaxing. And it's very, very healing when you start doing that.
It really is. And you know, you talking about laughter earlier. We had Dr. George Grant on our TV show a couple of weeks ago. Oh my!
He's amazing, isn't he?
Oh, I tell you right now, it was, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the funniest shows I've had that I've been on a long, long time. He had me laughing. And, you know, his comments, he's so funny. And that's what's so great about this show. And a lot of shows like this is that you don't script anything. You just flow with the energy and the humor and the topic that's being discussed. It gives you fresh ideas and all that. And he was really a fun guy. And he's got that, you know, that application on his phone, which, you know, screens you and all that. I mean, the guy is brilliant. He's a professor, he's got 3 doctorate degrees. He's worked with the CDC, the Canadian equivalent of the CDC. He's been a professor. I mean, he's a professor. My goodness gracious. And his knowledge, he was talking about, you know, when you're breathing there, it reminded me of him saying, a lot of people don't know how to breathe.
They don't know how to breathe.
He says they just breathe in, you know, the chest. You got to breathe from the stomach. And he said, you know, laughter. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, I know laughter made me feel good because I laugh a lot, you know, because I can't take this thing called life too seriously or anything of that nature. But he was talking about all the health benefits for your brain. And I thought, well, as much as I've been laughing, you think you'd see some kind of improvement.
Oh, Jeff. And you know, it's so funny is it's good. You know, it really does. It's proven to laughter. And, you know, Dr. George, I love him. He's been on 2 of my latest ones that I got hired to speak and be that event enhancer. And it was great to have George in there, because he's so up and he's so knowledgeable. It was great to have him. And you know, Austin J. Hines, I was on his, and he's getting ready to have a live event, and I'm so excited. And he's going to stream it, so I'm going to get to see that.
Yeah, he's been on our show here too. Yeah,
he was just
And you know, ladies and gentlemen, that's where you need to be. You need to surround yourself with good, positive people, good, positive energy. If you're out there and you got people that's negative and they're worried about this or worried about that, they will drain your energy. And that's exactly what Angel Marie has been talking about. My goodness gracious. I mean, I'm an old country boy, so I use country expressions. You need that in your life like a dog would need a good old-fashioned case of the fleas. You know what I mean? Because they'll just eat you up.
You know, it's proven that when you're laughter, you have smile, you have movement, that our energy actually raises and you can have more clarity and focus. And I know that the event wants to have what? They want to have their attendees to actually paying attention and engaged.
Yes. And most importantly, when they attend an event with you being there, I know when that event was over in Colorado Springs, because Angel Marie was there, they thought I was a great guy too. They thought, wow, you really did a great job. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, Jim, you did awesome.
But I saw the smiles on people's faces at the end of the day. How many times you been to an event and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, people drag out of there like they've been working in the fields or something, you know?
Nobody wanted to leave. We kept looking like nobody's leaving.
That's right. People were hanging around for 45 minutes.
Yes.
And Don came up to me and he says, oh my goodness gracious, we're going to have to get out of here. And we got a young lady on. I just saw the comment come up. Jill Wyman. She says she totally agrees. I'm sure she's agreeing with you.
Well, thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. Actually, I know Jill. She is an amazing lady, and she loves doing all. She's just amazing. Thank you, Jill, for being here and watching. Yay! We appreciate that. Yes. So yes, it's fun what I do. And I always tell people, because people do ask me, because I do a lot of training for virtual and one-on-ones and how to show up. And people will ask me, how do you keep going, Angel? And it's like, you know what? When I start, if I still keep laughing at myself, then I'll stop. When I stop laughing at myself, even when I mess up, even when I say things, because things happen. If I can still keep laughing, I'll just keep going strong.
Yep. Jill just made another comment. She says, laughter is lessons learned in life. And I couldn't agree with her more. Oh my goodness gracious. Cause I got one buddy and he's kind of a different, I call it, I'm just going to refer to him as Einstein. If Einstein was here, well, I don't know about all that laughter deal. I prefer to be miserable and I enjoy myself.
And you know what? It's the same thing too, Jim, is people don't realize they don't know how to don't know how to breathe correctly. And they're not really doing a diaphragmatic breath.
Right.
And if you would like that, I'll give you on the feed, I will give you where you can go and you can get my video and you can learn it. But they don't know how to have fun. They don't know how to laugh. They don't. And, can you not laugh if I start laughing? It's contagious.
Yeah, because when she starts laughing, I'm down for the count. I'm down for the count, I tell you.
Oh, that's really nice. Linda Gold is saying thanks for the day brightener. Yay, good.
Yeah. Okay. I just saw that. Thanks for the day brightener. Enjoyed so much. There's nothing like helping others. Laughter is the best medicine. And Linda Gold is my sister. Thank you, Linda.
Sister, I'm so glad I got to. Here's a virtual hug for you, because I'd be hugging on Jim if we were in the same studio. Well, I'd be hugging on him.
Yeah. Because that's just, we're family. That's what gets me. And, like all the people we've mentioned so far on the show, we're kind of like a roulette wheel. We're looking now, how can I help this person? How can I help that person? How can I, get this person on my show? They get me on other shows. And I mean, and the beauty of it is no one is asking anybody for a nickel. That's the beauty. That's the icing on the cake. That's when you're coming from the heart. And when you love yourself and you love others, game over. And because Bill Heinrich, he's real big. I got to give away here a little bit of information here from Mr. Bill Heinrich, a free ebook.
Oh! You really want to do this with Bill? Bill works with energy, also, and he's really genius. And if he has an ebook, you need to read. Jill, Linda, everybody, even on the repeat, you really should download it. He's brilliant.
Yeah, because Bill's book there, Clarity Has No Story, because that's the one thing that people lack when they're worrying about something or maybe they're trying to work on something, get something going, and they just don't know how to get it in first gear to get it going because they lack clarity. You can just go to, like it says there, 3 words, myfreebook.me. M as in Mike, E as in Echo. myfreebook.me. It will be downloaded directly to your inbox on your email, and Bill will not chase you down. He won't try to upsell you on anything because Bill is too busy. He's the co-creator of the 6-minute webinar. And speaking of the 6-minute webinar, I've got to just do a quick little pay a little bill here. We'll be right back right after this brief message. Stay with us, please.
The 6-minute webinar allows you to create a marketing product in a fraction of the time that it would typically take to create a webinar. And when you follow the simple process, you will provide laser-focused content to your ideal customers. And the nice thing is, it's repeatable for any product or service that you offer. My name's Rich Parsons, founder of Higher Calling Consulting, and creating my own 6-minute webinars has allowed me to have a 24/7 marketing presence for my ideal clients. So I encourage you to make the 6-minute webinar part of your business marketing strategy too.
I tell you, that 6 minute webinar, Don McGrath, he created a little application called ScriptFile, and it just asked you about 40 questions in 12 different areas. And you just answer those questions in a bullet point, just a bullet comment, I should say. And then when you hit submit, it gets downloaded directly and it comes to your inbox. And when you read it, it's the 6 minute webinar. All you got to do is just read it and plug in the different photographs that you want to use or whatever. It's that simple, but it really communicates to your ideal client. And I like to use losing weight as an example because Stephanie Dwayne, I call her the ka-ching lady. You know Stephanie very well.
Yeah.
And, she says, I call it my personal ATM machine because if she's talking to someone about losing weight, her 6 minute webinar starts out in one sentence. She's got her ideal clients. During this 6 minute webinar, I will show you 3 ways that you can lose weight. Boom, right there. And people who are interested in losing weight will give her 6 minutes. That's the beauty of it. You don't go hunting. It's kind of like the other people, you ask what they do. They like clarity. It's kind of like trying to target practice, hit the bullseye with a shotgun. You're all over the place.
And right now too, people are still doing 45-minute and hour webinars, and it's people are not, they don't have the capacity to keep up because we're just zoomed out. And these 6 minutes, I mean, I have it on my email and I can tell that people are clicking on it, and I get clicks all the time every email because there's like 6 minutes. It's only 6 minutes and it's going to tell me how to de-stress. Okay. Get unstuck. Okay.
Absolutely. And I tell you, it's really amazing because you don't waste people's time, because some of the webinars you click on, it may be of interest to you. And the people they start out and they go on for 20 minutes about the problem and who they are and what they've done and da. And you're going like, well, if I didn't know what the problem was, I wouldn't be here in the first place. And I really don't care how many colleges or whatever you've done in your life. I just want to know one thing. What can you do for me? Give me the skinny, and that's what makes these 6 minute webinars so powerful. It's just really a 24/7 ready, Freddy salesperson as I like to describe it.
Oh, that's a good one. Ready, Freddy.
Yeah, I mean to tell you. And we mentioned Anna Lynn Scott a little bit earlier, and I want to talk a little bit about Anna Lynn. She's a great friend of ours, and I got to click on this comment up here. We got another comment. Oh, yeah, Jill says, yeah, blah, blah, blah. They go on and on and on. Yes, they do. I hope she's talking about them and not me.
I'm sure.
I'm just teasing, Jill. I'm just teasing. But Anna Lynn Scott, I had a wonderful conversation with her today, and introducing her to Aaron Hymas here at the E360 TV network. And because her project is very, very, you're going to that project, aren't you? Or are you going to be seeing it online? I forget.
No. This is an exclusive premiere here in Phoenix, Arizona, in Scottsdale, actually, Arizona. And because I am a Flashlight sponsor, because I love what she's doing, and Jim's going to tell what she's doing. And I'm just excited to tell that I'm getting to go not only to a movie, because I haven't been to a movie in who knows how long. And of course, I'm going to be able to serve and to help with the 1 in 9 and see this and go to the premiere on Thursday night. So go ahead. You say what the 1 in 9's about.
Well, her and her husband, Raymond, I'm trying to go off of memory now. Raymond, he's kidney failure, and he's been on kidney dialysis for probably, I don't know how many years. It's been a lot.
A long time.
Yeah, a long time. And they had just started going together. And then he was only in his 20s, late 20s. And he got diagnosed with that. And he figured, well, she's going to be out of here, because they had just started dating. And Anna Lynn says, you don't know me very well. And she's just really catered her life. And you go to the 1 in 9. I'm trying to think of the website here. Let me think of it just a second here.
Well, it's the 1 in 9. It's about kidney disease, and it's about really educating. That's what Anna Lynn has really created, the education that there's so many people that don't even realize they're facing this, that they're not knowing what to do. And in her organization And this virtual meeting and movie, it's just awesome.
Oh, yeah, because her website is 1in9kidneychallenge.com, I think it is, or .org, one of the two. But yeah, she's put her heart, soul in this because she went on a mission to educate people, because I didn't know 1 in 9 people had kidney disease. I really didn't.
I didn't either.
And that's her mission there, and to educate people. And the event that she says, if you were out here, Jim, she says, I would personally come and get you. And I said, I believe you.
I'd come get you too. I mean, I'd love if you were here. We could go together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because Raymond, I've met her husband, super nice guy. Oh, my goodness gracious. And in fact, when I called her, she was just finishing up his treatment. She treats him at home. And that's how dedicated this lady is. And oh my goodness, for her and Aaron to get together and talk about putting on, an event that they're going to be doing here on E360, because there's other people she's talking to. And I said, I want you to talk to Aaron and he'll at least give you some good insight. So I open up that door. So that's one of my pleasurables I get to do in life, is to introduce good quality people to each other, and then just step back and let the energy flow. Oh my goodness gracious.
It's so beautiful. And, Annalyn has just been so gracious, and I love being a sponsor and helping out wherever I can. So I'm going to do Facebook Live. I'm going to do stories. I'm going to take pictures Thursday night at this exclusive premiere of this documentary about 1 in 9, the cancer, or kidney disease. So very exciting to help out and to serve. And that's one thing that, you at home, you might be feeling alone. You could be, and, you come here for those messages of hope and inspiration. And just remember that you really do matter, and your energy matters. And it's important for you to know that you matter. And if you don't have anybody to talk to, you can message me or Jim. I mean, you really could. You can message us. We're there for you.
I'm going to put the, let's see when I get it up there. Let's see. No, it didn't do that. Let me put it up here. Here we go.
He's going to put the 1 in 9, I think, up
1 in 9 kidneychallenge.com. That is the website right there for Annalyn Scott and her husband, Raymond. Super, super nice people. There's a lot of information there. I haven't personally, I've been to the website, of course, and looked around it, but obviously not having a kidney disease, I would not look at it as thoroughly if I did have kidney disease, to be honest. But if you know someone out there, if there's 1 in 9 people, you probably know somebody somewhere that's suffering from kidney disease. Send them to this. Get them in touch with Annalyn Scott. She is one of the most brilliant young ladies I know of, who is dedicated, and she loves helping people. Loves helping people. My goodness gracious. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do, because we don't want to hang around. I don't want to hang around my buddy Einstein and hear him complain all the time.
No, you don't want to be around, and some people say, Angel, that's negative energy. It's not necessarily negative. It just doesn't meet your energy. So we don't get negative by saying, oh, that person's negative, because that's kind of harsh. And then that person's like, oh, no, I'm not. And really, it's just like their energy doesn't meet my energy. So I'm not really going to I'm going to do a boundary here. And that's really the biggest key to give you a message of inspiration is it's okay to have those boundaries. And even with family, it's really okay to get on the phone with maybe the negative Nellie. We're not calling her negative anymore, but to Nellie, and just say, Nellie, I only have about 5 minutes to talk.
Yeah.
And that way, create those boundaries that help you so that you can stay at your vibrational field. And I will tell you and guarantee you, when you do that, you will stay out of some pain too. And that's how I do it. Staying out of that pain, being diagnosed with all of that. So it's all about raising. And I love Annalyn, and I can't wait to see everybody on Thursday night.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, you're also not only an inspirational speaker, you are a motivational speaker, aren't you, young lady?
Yes. And an event enhancer, MC, co-host. I don't, all those things that just help your event to be successful, and really help the audience, your group to really feel like, wow, that was fun. Everybody wants to have fun because they want to feel it.
Absolutely. And I've been to your website there, and you give great information about yourself and everything that you do. And holy smokes, I mean, when do you get a chance to rest? That's what I want to know.
Well, like I said, I'm up at 4:30,
Mm-hmm.
and I do take those times to rest throughout the day. And I'm really, really important, just even if it's 2 minutes to 4 minutes. But and I do make it a point, or usually around 3 or 4 every day. And I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona, so the weather's pretty good. Today it's cold. It's like 55 degrees. That's freezing to me. To me, it's freezing.
That's a sign of intelligence.
So, today, as soon as I finish, I have a meeting after this for another summit. But after this, I'll go to the park and we'll walk around. And, of course, it's kind of slow, but it doesn't matter. Get outside. If you take anything from me today, please get outside, even if it's storming out. 2 minutes. Take in the breath. Is the natural antibiotic. It really is. It helps you to create a different kind of energy, that frequency, quantum field around you. Nature just does that. And if you can, like I will probably tomorrow when it'll be like 80, I will take my shoes off, my socks, and earth yourself and be really connected to earth. And it really does help. Like there are mountains in the back.
Yep.
Yes.
You're going to be like that 1964, 65 song by Robert Parker, Barefootin'. Now, I'm really showing my age there, but I tell you, getting good vitamin D from the sun, fresh air, learning how to breathe, that in itself is goodness. I mean, if you did that, daily or every other, several times a day, not a day, but a week, my goodness gracious, your energy level would go up, your health would increase, and even Einstein's attitude might increase.
Absolutely.
Might improve.
I have to tell you though, Jim, it's not just a couple times a week. I really, in my coaching, I'm like, are you ready to really commit that you want to feel better? Yeah. And it is hour every 2 hours, take a belly breathe, at least 5 belly breathes every day.
Dr. Grant stressed that when he was on the show. He says people don't know how to breathe. They got to breathe in the belly and all that. Would you just, since you're standing there, would you just give a little demonstration of that for us, please? Because a lot of people don't know how to breathe properly. You can do it to music if you want to. Yeah.
I'll turn it up a little bit. So
okay.
Move your diaphragm in and out. Don't be breathing or anything like that. Just if you're at home, just move your diaphragm in and out. Just in and out. Just to get used to your diaphragm, because most people, they don't even know where their diaphragm is. So just move it in and out. So now we're going to close my mouth and I'm going to breathe in through your nose and the diaphragm's going to come out. I'm not pushing it. I'm just moving it. Okay. So breath, close mouth, belly comes out. And now when I breathe out through my slit mouth, my belly comes in. I don't suck it in. I'm just moving it. So let's do this all together and I'll do it without talking. It's like this. You just got out of flight or fight. You really did. Now that was very extreme. You don't have to breathe that. That was really extreme to show you. But you don't have to breathe like that, but you can go slower. But when you learn that, you stay out of flight or flight. Now I gotta tell you something though, Jim, and everyone here. When you go to flight or flight, now everybody goes to flight or flight when there's a loud noise. It doesn't matter. Our bodies are just, when there's a loud noise, you're gonna go to flight or flight. So take those 3 to 5 belly breaths. A woman will stay in flight or flight for 24 hours. That's a long time that your nervous system and your synapses, the brain has stress. 24 hours. Do you know how long a guy stays? 8 hours. So you get in an argument in the morning, you're yelling at each other, I'm just playing. And, and then by dinner time, the man comes in and says, okay, honey, hey, what's for dinner? And she's like, oh, she's still in that flight or flight.
Yeah. I tell you, that's amazing because, I thought it was always something that I said when I came in the door if I left and she was upset in the morning, so.
She's still in flight, and it really is the nervous system, the blood system.
Mhm.
Everything is stressed because of that anxiety, because of the instant that happened. You think, oh, I'm over it, but you're really
Right.
not. And what all you have to do is do 3 to 5 really good belly breaths, and it'll take the synapses that are sparking, saying, "Hey, I'm scared. I gotta go. I'm fearful," because the brain just does that.
Wow. That's really amazing. I mean, it just gets me how little things like that in life can really make a difference in your health, your happiness, your mindset, and it enables you to lift your eyes above the problems and the troubles and tribulations of life. It really does. And Bill talks a lot about this, and I really appreciate him. He says, we're born in a world of survival. And when you're locked into need and want and worry and all that, you're in the physical. And your brain, it can only show you what was in the rearview mirror of life. It's not a crystal ball. Because he told me one time, says, Jim, you got to realize your brain's not a crystal ball. And I thought, okay, I've already figured that out to myself. But he says, when you come from love, he says, now you're automatically in tune with the universe, and everything in the universe is a vibration. And it took me a while to get up to what he was talking about. But when it clicked, I'm going like, hey, I like this love and this vibration because I can feel, I'm kind of like that old Carole King song. I feel the earth move under my feet. I love that song. I love Carole King. She's a wonderful singer.
Absolutely. And, I want to just offer everybody too, if they want, just email me. Just go ahead and email me at Angel Marie Shines and say, I want the belly breathe video, or just go to my YouTube. That'd be easier. Just go to YouTube. But I mean, it is so important and it'll help you so much. And that's what I love is when it's so simple, but we don't realize what we don't know until we know it.
That's so true. That's so true. It's kind of like, reminds me back in the 80s and 90s, you'd be watching these infomercials, and then they did such a great job, blowing people away. You go like, wow, you got to get that 1-800 number down. You got to call, you got to get out your credit card. Now you can't live without it. And 10 minutes ago, you know it was on planet Earth.
It's so true, isn't it? It's how we shift it, and it's shifting in a way that helps you to balance more. So when you're really balanced, you have more clarity and focus when you're doing the breaths, especially if you have something you need to decide. Now, deciding is coming here. Make a choice that comes from here. But some people would get really stuck. And if you just do those belly breaths and then speak out loud, you'll come up with the answer. It'll happen every single time.
Oh, yeah. It just amazes me. And another thing that I love to do, and I encourage people, get out of your shell, get out of that solitary confinement mindset and, associate with people like-minded, like heart, and just sit down and listen to them. And as they're talking, if you're on a Zoom call or whatever, it doesn't matter. But when they're talking, all of a sudden things are going to start coming to you. Share that and share your thoughts, because now you're getting plugged in with them. And it's originally called the mastermind principle, but I'll tell you something, you cannot live without it. You need to be plugged in with people like-minded, like you, and all that, because we need it.
And especially really now, because I'm even getting reports. Some of my friends are still in isolation. They still haven't gone out. And we're in a year. It is a year. Yeah. It was on March 13th was when it was announced. So, and my question, they'll call and say, Angel, I'm like, honey, you got to get outside. You got to go and you really need to move, because we're not meant to be sediment. We're not meant to be alone. We're really not. This is great, but this is the end all. Yeah.
You're exactly right. Go ahead.
I got to tell you something though, Jim. Wait. You keep messing with Einstein.
Oh, yeah.
So, he's one of my favorite in the quote. So I got to give him a kudos for his quote, because you're messing with him.
No, I'm not Not the Einstein we know. I'm talking about a buddy of mine who thinks he's an Einstein.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, whoa. Okay. Okay, now I get it. But I got to tell you the quote. The quote is Einstein said, and I quote, "Energy never dissolves. It merely changes forms." And that's the key. Our energy of whatever our belief system, whatever that can be, negative, positive, whatever you want to call it, is never going to just dissolve. It's always going to be in our field. But we can change the form of it. And that's what I'm genius at helping, because I change the form of my foot pain, of the muscles, some of the things that go on with me. Because I was asked that this morning. You don't even look like you're hurting. Are your chest totally fine? I'm like, no, you know. But the thing is, you can change the form of any energy, because everything is energy.
It really is. And everything in the universe is a vibration. I mean, like, some people don't even realize that our bodies, we're 70% water.
Yeah, depends on what book, because some of them say 85. So who knows what book it is, but yeah, we're mostly all water, which is a vibration. And what do you do with water? You can freeze it, you can boil it, you can, what's happening here, and we can absolutely program it. And that is that way that sometimes we look in the mirror and say, oh, look, you're programming the day.
Also, too, water is a great conductor. It really is. I mean, if you step into a pool of water, it's got electrical wire in there, you're not going to do that twice if you survive. I mean, you're going to figure out that was not the smartest thing you ever did, even if you're a little slow in between the ears, as my dad used to say.
Well, it's interesting because, I was just listening to Grant Cardone, and Grant, he was on Clubhouse, actually. So I was listening to him on Clubhouse. And one of the things he said, and I'll quote him because I don't know if I have to quote him, but because I say it, and I was just like, oh, that was so great, was what he said is just think about when you're talking to somebody, you're really having energy. The energy is going out. You're moving together. And we can say woo-woo, that's your aura, that's we could say that, but in reality, it's the 7 laws of the universe that we're governed by. And that energy is energy. And you can be energy, and it's like, ooh, and you go, or you can be like, oh, I just love them. I love her. I love him. I just love him.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I first met you, I was like, oh my gosh, I love him.
One of the things that you really can feel, if you're on a stage, if you're a speaker, if you are a musician, you ask anybody that's been on stage, they can tell you when the crowd is into what they're doing, the energy flows from the crowd to them. But if the audience is turned off on them, it drains their energy. You can see, I've seen guys on stage that didn't have any connection at all with the audience. And I mean, they were dry as chicken bones in the desert. And people were leaning back from them, crossing their arms, and they were glad when they were over. And the sad part, too, the person left the stage did not have a good feeling in their heart about their presentation. And I mean, you can feel it. There's no doubt about that. You can feel it. I mean, ask any musician who's been on stage if a country and western band is playing in front of a group that prefers rock and roll or rap or something like that. I mean, they're not going to be jumping up and down. There's not going to be any energy coming from that audience to that band, and they can feel it. Trust me. All the noise and everything like that, they can feel it.
Yes, and even you, when you talked about being the MC at the Colorado Springs, as we do, we read the energy and we adjust as we go. And I was just asked that, well, what are you going to bring up and what are you going to do? And this is virtual. And I said, I have many, many things in my hat. And I will tell you that this is going to be you're getting to know me. This is what the foundation will be. But I can't exactly tell you how it's going to end up because I'm going to read your people. And I'm going to move your people so that they have the experience. It's not up to me to just decide, make that choice and not being able to move it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I tell you, it's just we're getting down to about last 5 minutes of the show here. So, Angel Marie is going to do that full shine on thing. I've asked her to do it. I wanted her to close out the show today, but before we do that, I just want to say to you, Angel, thank you so very, very much for being here on the show with us. My goodness gracious. I wish every show had the great energy that you put on this show, because we kicked it off and we had a lot of fun, a lot of laughter and all that. You are one special lady. And let me humbly say, ladies and gentlemen, you see her email there, angel@angelmarieshines.com. And if you're an event coordinator and you want to find out more about her, you go to angelmarieshines.com. If you're looking for a person who can energize your virtual audience as well as your physical audience and make everyone say that they were glad to attend, you need Angel Marie Monachelli, as I like to say.
Well, thank you, Jim, and thank you for everyone watching. But Jim, thank you for having me on the show.
My pleasure. So, one, two. Go ahead, take it over.
Okay, here we go. We're going to end it out. We're going to do the full song. Remember that these words are the Shine On philosophy for the movement. And Jim, you remember, you should be up. He should be up. You got ambition, fire and soul. Within your heart, let your spirit flow. Ask for what you want, show them what you got. Take it to the top. Don't you ever stop. Shine, shine. Come on, everybody, get up now. Come on, you've been sitting for a while. Come on, here you go.
If I stand up, they'll see my belly button.
Breathe up. There you go. Looking for the answers, seeking you will find. Open up your heart, leave it all behind. Smile and laugh, always give you back. Glowing like a star, show them who you are. Shine, shine, shine. Raise your vibration, shine, shine. Shine on. Here we go. Shine. You're the secret. You're the answer. You know who you are. Look within you. Breathe and focus. You're a shining star. Be the shining star. Shine. Shine. Shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine. Shine. Shine on. Don't worry, don't you fake it. Be just who you are. You're the answer to the question. You're that shining star. You're the star. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine, shine. Shine on. Here we go, last one. Now that you can see, all that you can do, breathe into your heart. Don't you ever stop. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine, shine, shine on. Woo! You can find it on Pandora if you want more. Go to Pandora. You can find it. Woo-hoo! Come on and shine with me. You matter. You make the difference. Your differences are what makes you amazing. Come on and shine with me. Be your unique and awesome self. Shine it. Shine on now.
I tell you, what a way to end the show, ladies and gentlemen. I always want to thank my very special guest, very good friend, Miss Angel Marie Monachelli. Her website is angelmarieshines.com. And her email is angel@angelmarieshines.com. Angel Marie, my goodness gracious, we should run this for another hour or two, but I've got to go. There's another show coming up behind me, so we've got to get out of here. But thank you so very, very, very much for being with me today. I love you. I appreciate you. Your family. You're my kind of people. And if there's anything I can ever do to help you, if you need an introduction anywhere, please let me know. I'm your go-to guy on that. That's what I do.
Thank you, Jim. Echo all of that. Love you too. And love everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Shining on. Shining on. Yeah. Shining on.